Hello, friends! Welcome back, and thank you for joining us here today for episode 10 of A Detoured Path, where we fully, firmly believe that sometimes the only thing we all really need in life is just a little reroute. My name is Chelsea Marie Mauger, and I'll be your host here today and every day on A Detoured Path. So to all our new and returning listeners out there, if you're finding yourself in need of a little reroute, or already meandering down that unforeseen pathway in life, whether by choice, force, or somewhere in between, or just interested in possibly thinking about things a little bit differently, this could be the show for you. We will be sharing personal accounts, stories, and a variety of perspectives in order to help us all gain a greater sense of community and connectivity in this little thing we call life. Just a little disclaimer before we begin. Though we do try to keep a mostly G and or PG rating here at A Detoured Path, we are discussing life, and life is not always G and or PG rated. That's just something to keep in mind in case you are listening with any little itty-bitty tater tots present. Chelsea, tell me a story. The other day on Instagram, I came across this meme. Picture this, a cartoon. It's a yoga class, where the instructor is not actually a human being, but a life-size version of a cupcake with a face. Yes, you heard me, a cupcake, like the kind you eat. Its students are another cupcake, a cookie, and a donut, all with faces, of course. The cupcake instructor then says, "Now, find your center." It is at this moment that we, the audience, zoom in to see the sad, depressed look on the little donut's face because the poor little donut literally has no center. "Oh, yes," she sighs, "to feel like you have no center." More often than not, a very large percentage of us, at one point or another, will be able to relate to this. We may experience feelings of emptiness, loneliness, sorrow, confusion, frustration, a sense that we are aimlessly wandering farther and farther away from ourselves without a compass, and that grounded sense of security we once had now feels like earthquakes rumbling beneath our feet. The thing is, though we may feel like that donut, lost, confused, exposed, transparent, and not in a good way, and as absolutely far away from ourselves as humanly possible, we are not really lost. We have not completely evaporated. We are still there. We might just have to do a little digging first in order to find what was always there. Just because we have shown up in a different shape or form, whether it be mentally, emotionally, physically, and or everything else in between, we are still us, and we are still there. We still have all our life experiences and acquired skills to back us up. We can start there, and we can build upon that. We have not fallen off the face of the earth, suddenly forgotten everything we ever knew and learned, and then returned as an empty shell of a human being. That did not happen. We are not really hollow. We are not really vacant. We are still there. Each one of us is just a piece of beautiful gold waiting to be discovered. Hiding that gold does not do us or anyone around us a beneficial service. Making ourselves small does not mean we are then therefore included. Making ourselves small does not really mean we are then part of the pack. We have become complacent, mediocre, and ourselves notice that. We feel hollow because we know we are not reaching our potential. The donut didn't start fully cooked. She started off as a moldable piece of dough that was then formed into a shape. Just because we have not taken the shape that we want yet doesn't mean we are lost. It doesn't mean we are hollow. It doesn't mean we are worthless or invaluable. It just means we aren't cooked yet. The dough may not know it will be a donut, but that doesn't make it any less of a donut. We may not know what we are capable of, but that doesn't mean we are not capable. That donut originated from a dough that was full of strength, dexterity, and flexibility, and that dough was crafted by a master creator. Just because that donut didn't start out appearing in that shape doesn't mean that all those fantastic elements don't still exist within it. It has shed its old form in order to become something new and beautiful. But that doesn't mean it wasn't already beautiful when it first started. The two are just different. So, even though it is what it is right now, what it is really isn't what it is right now. And as we look right in front at what it is right now, the distraction is distracting from the gift right now. Introspective, but yet reflective, weighing all the sides, engrossed in thoughts colliding, so much content in my mind. The spilling trickles over, the stream will flood the dam. But until there's redirection, what is lost is who I am. Thank you so much for your time and attention thus far. We are just going to take a brief moment to recognize today's sponsor, Anchor, for providing a free platform for people like myself to get their podcast off the ground. With little to no previous technical know-how, Anchor makes the whole process pretty straightforward. Go to anchor.fm, that's ANCHOR.FM, or download the free Anchor app today to get started. With just a click of a button, you too can be heard on multiple platforms. But until there's redirection, what is lost is who I am. She shies away from greatness and runs to other things. She camouflages feelings, gets lost in everything. She tries to hide emotion, pretending she's okay. But underneath her sparkle, there is leftover decay. She doesn't want your pity, your downtrodden eyes can get. It's just her way of dealing. She'd rather that than be upset. There's gladness in a downfall, in every turn, in every step. If all we see is mishap, we've missed the point in what's been sent. I'd rather see the roses, all the flowers, not the thorns. Those thorns melt with momentum and throw your vessel's pace off course. If you think I'm joking, that's okay. Really, I'm fine. I'd rather redirect myself than get caught on thorns and vines. I'd rather forge a clearer path. So, I took a look at myself and realized there was no one else who could do all the things that I do. We struggle and fight and try with our might, but then we miss what we've come here to do. But if we can listen and hear, not give way to the fear, we might let our sense steer to the path that is clear. And though we try and we try and we try with our might, our future would be clearer if we gave up the fight. We've clouded our vision, obstructed the view, the past still in focus, the distraction there too. And where we put our attention, that's where we'll go. Instead of making things hard, let's be like water and flow. It's all our decision how we choose to react. Complacency's the issue, and one will attack. Yes, complacency is the issue, and one will attack. We rise and we rise and we all want to grow, but by refusing to do so, our voice takes a blow. The natural tendency of the human spirit is to learn, grow, explore, change, play, and evolve. Children love this. What then happens along the way to change this? Some might say life happens, but we can't use that as an excuse forever. I mean, we can, but that isn't going to change very much. What happens to us when we are no longer, quote unquote, required to continue our education? What happens when we are no longer in grade school, middle school, high school, college, university? What happens when our job, our career path doesn't require us to keep our certifications up to date, or there isn't mandatory continuing education requirements? What happens then? Why do so many of us choose to stagnate? Who ever came up with the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks anyway? And who was the first person who believed that? And the person after 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 that? After that? After that? After that? After that? Until it was all just accepted as fact. Have we all just accepted a half life? Is that why we feel like that empty cartoon donut? Gutted and knocked down and completely lacking a center? Our center? Have we gone so far away from ourselves that we've simply just forgotten who we are and who we want to be in the first place? I took a look at myself and realized there was no one else who could do all the things that I do. So far from me, I could barely see me, distracted both with shiny and new. It doesn't make sense to go over the fence when all that you need is within you. The visions seem bright, textured with light, because the truth of what's real is within you. And she said, "You mean it was with me all along? Everything I ever really needed was with me all along?" Now, I think we just had our very own Wizard of Oz, Glinda to Dorothy guidance moment here. So, I think we just rose a little higher on the totem pole because we were open and receptive to the guidance of our higher self and our highest self. Maybe, just maybe then, whether or not we resonate with the hollowness of a regular donut or feel full like the jelly-filled kind comes entirely back home to us. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. If the only place we had to go back to was ourselves, then it would mean we already had all the answers. It would mean that we already had all the power. We already had the control. We already had all the qualities that we needed to create a life we really wanted, rather than one we were just happened to be given. Even if this wasn't true, even if it was completely false, even if we made the whole thing up, does it really matter if it elicits a positive result? A placebo effect is still an effect. So, does it really matter as long as it works? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but so is belief. And if you feel it can be done, then it can be done. If you believe you can be whole, then you can be whole. She was bold and was beautiful, and at the very same time. She could speed up and slow down and could change on a dime. She could walk smart and talk smart. She loved life and laughed art, but could not be a part until she did then just first start. And because she did then step back into her power, she realized then the world really does belong to those who claim it. She came, she saw, she conquered the world, and the universe said, "I got you, girl." And what was once hollow now became a fresh new mound of clay, ready and willing to be shaped and reshaped and shaped again into anything and everything of her choosing and rechoosing and rechoosing again. And friends, I believe that is all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining us from wherever or whenever you are doing so. Feel free to comment, message, support, donate, and subscribe by going to our host platform, Anchor. We are located at anchor.fm/a-detoured, DETOURED PATH. We are available and searchable internationally on 21 platforms, but going directly to our host platform, Anchor, is the best way to stay in the know and get connected. Leave a review and a rating if you liked what you heard, and hit subscribe to get all the latest podcast updates and information. By choosing to support and donate, your generous contributions will help to continue the workflow, volume, and frequency of A Detoured Path so that we can continue to flood your airways on a more regular basis. In the meantime, if you're looking for more thoughts, stories, and insights while you're waiting for the next episode of A Detoured Path to come out, you can find the book Short Girl Diaries, Unedited and Grammatically Incorrect by Chelsea Marie Mauger. Last name is spelled capital M-A-U-G as in great, E-R as in red, which is available on Amazon in both print and Kindle formats, as well as through the Kindle Unlimited program where you can read pages for free. Also, we have recently become a contributor for Medium.com, and articles can be found at chelsea-marie-mauger.medium.com. That's CHELSEA-MARIE-MAUGER.medium.com. Come find us on Instagram by following at Chelsea Marie Mauger, same spelling. Stop by and say hi. Say the podcast sent you. So until next time, my name is Chelsea Marie Mauger, and you've been listening to A Detoured Path, where we firmly believe that sometimes the only thing we all really need in life is just a little reroute.